So I want to talk to you about journaling. All right, journaling is something that's very important. A lot of people get too caught up on what do I write and how do I write, and all of that's not important. What's most important is for you to get what's up here out. Get all of your thoughts, the ruminating thoughts, things that are stressing you out, things that are bothering you, and for you to be able to write those down judgment free. No one has to read your journal. This is just a way for you to get out anything that you may be holding on to, because when we hold on to things, it's not good for us. So for myself, I have been journaling since I was 15 years old. Actually, longer than that. I have my journals. I've been journaling since I was like 10 years old. But my mother passed away when I was 15. So my journals, I actually addressed them to mom. And I write in them like I'm talking on the phone to her, just updating things that are going on in my life and things that I'm struggling with. And I'm someone that's an external processor. So I process things when I'm writing them down or when I'm talking out loud. And I talk to myself too, because I'm an external processor. So for me, specifically, writing helps me organize my thoughts. And it makes it easier for me to get my emotions out, because I sometimes don't know how to organize them at the time. And it's not really making sense, but that's not important. I just want you to write them down. That's what's most important for you to get this stuff out. Another thing that I do in my journal that's super important is just writing consistent. It doesn't need to be every day. You don't need to do this every single day. Don't think it as something as like so daunting. Just write when you feel like it. It could be when you're happy. It could be when you're mad, when you're sad. It doesn't matter. Just take some time and put your thoughts out. What this allows me to do is actually hold me accountable, because I'm just putting down my thoughts, no judgment, no bias, just writing things down. And I can go back and kind of assess where I've been. So for me, this helps me. If I get stuck in like a depressive state or a negative state of mind, I can go back and read my journal entries and see any progress or no progress. So that just kind of allows me to hold myself more accountable. If I'm complaining about the same things and I'm writing the same things and I'm not making any changes, that's how I know, like, okay, these are things that you need to work more on. Another thing that helps me when I go back every once in a while and read my previous journal entries is it also reminds me that, say 3 months ago I was in a really bad mental state, or I was really struggling with certain things, and then I read my journal entries now and I'm no longer there mentally. I'm in a different place. So that allows you to see either your growth or the fact that, like, when you're in a bad place, you don't always stay in a bad place. And same thing when you're in a good place, you don't always stay in a good place. So that's what I do for journaling. I've kept all my journals my entire life. Another thing that I do when I write in my journals is if I read my cards, I'll write those in there. And the amazing thing about that is when I go back and read my cards that I read for myself in months prior, it didn't make sense at the time. But then when I reread them now, pretty much everything that I read in my cards kind of came true at that time. Another thing that I do, and this is actually a journal that I created, is every once in a while, like every 7 pages, it's goals that I want. These can be short-term goals, these can be long-term goals, but I just write down my goals. And then I also have a to-do list, things that I want to get done, and these are more like tasks. I have things like spend more time outside, spend more time in nature, get my hair done, get my nails done, things that I need to do, whatever they are, or things that I want to do, and kind of help hold me accountable. And then at the bottom, I have anything that's holding me back. So I kind of write things that I think at that time might be holding me back. And then, so when I go and review, I wrote this in August, my entry in August, my goals, my to-do list, and things that were holding me back. So now when I'm reading them in December, it's 4 months later, I check through my goals. Did I work on any of these goals that I listed? On my to-do list, I look at that and I say, did I get any of these things done? And sometimes I check them off and I write the date like, yep, I did this, good for me. And then I also check in with anything holding me back. And that, again, is a way to hold myself accountable. Did anything change on this, on the holding me back, or things that I think might be holding me back? So that's just some things that I do with journaling. You can do whatever you want. Another thing I do is I write often affirmations throughout it, and I read them frequently, and I also change them. And then like on the random back pages, I'll write other things. Just, you know, positive things, not so much affirmations, but just things that I continue to write down and continue to read. So that's what I do. You can do whatever you want, but I find that this works for me and this helps me. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more guidance on what journaling might look like, because that's what it looks like for me. Thank you.